What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Stark from MyTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today we're going to talk about my Oxford year. Bet you didn't know. I spent a year in Oxford. We're going to talk about it. So sit down and pop a squat, whatever you got to do, and we're going to get through this. I didn't go to Oxford. This is the name of a Netflix movie starring Sofia Carson, which is, I'm sure its working title was Me Before You Too, except for that was like really confusing for people. So they changed it to the Oxford year, my Oxford year. It's actually based on a book, so I'm also concerned that somebody else read Me Before You and then was like, I could do that better. I'm gonna write my Oxford year. So, yeah, 0 points of originality for this film. It stars Sophia as an American who goes to Oxford. She's going to meet somebody, and spoilers, they're not going to be in their best of health, played by Corey Milcrest, who you might remember from the Bridgerton prequel series, Queen Charlotte. If you're deep into Netflix lore, as I am, I'm deep in the weeds, people. I've seen everything on Netflix. That's why I'm watching this movie. So it's kind of a shame that Carson is stuck at Netflix and can't seem to break out of the mold. For a minute there, I thought she was headed in that direction. She had Carry On. The Life List is better than this. It's not like a revolutionary work of staggering genius, but it's better than this and seems to be a little bit more original. This one feels like it's treading through the exact same path as everything that came before it. It doesn't really give a shit. It's just like, yeah, well, whatever. Compare us to other movies. It feels kind of lazy. The relationship comes really easy. It has problems and they don't even address it. There were several times where I just found everybody unlikable because nobody ever got through this. There is Dougray Scott is in this, or Dougray Scott, whose career is, I'm sure he has lots of moments where he sits around and thinks about things and thinks about how his life could have been different. He probably sits in a house that's not very big and he goes, why am I here? Oh yeah, that's right, because I chose to do Mission Impossible 2 instead of Wolverine in the X-Men. That's why I'm here. Cool. So we have Hugh Jackman instead, which is great because I love Hugh Jackman, but most people don't know who Dougray Scott is, or Dougray Scott, if you have the right accent. So, yeah, I don't know. So the catch here, in case you didn't pick up on it, is Sophia's character Anna she's getting her master's at Oxford, and everybody there treats her like a unicorn, like they've never spoken to anybody from America before, and that no other Americans go to Oxford. But when she goes into her first class, which is taught by Milcrest, who plays, it's like James or Julian or something like that, similar to Jay, and he looks at her like, oh, and from all the way over from America, from New York. Everything's bigger in New York. And I was like, this is Oxford? This is Oxford. I'm sorry, but we chose to shoot this movie at Oxford University. Y'all supposed to be really smart. Like, Oxford University is supposed to be like where are the nerds? Like, where's, plus other Americans go to Oxford. There's a whole scholarship and program for it to allow to. Anyway, Carson is just there, and they treat her like they've never, like, welcome, you're the only one. Cool. You're the only one apparently that goes to Oxford. They treat her like she's a foreign exchange student from a country that most people didn't remember existed because they can't list every single country in existence. And they're just like, oh, you're from Lesotho. huh, never met anybody from this. So she's from America, man. It's probably at least 100 of her walking around on campus right now. So inevitably she has to, I don't know, find him cute and quirky, and they argue about what kind of books they like and what kind of novels. He's big into things about death, like Tennyson's Crossing the Bar, and she's big into Walden, and they fall in love until one day, and he also comes from a very wealthy family, so they can go to extravagant places too. Nobody ever comes from like middle class families in these movies. You ever notice that? Like, she never just falls in love with a British guy who's like got this problem, but also is like kind of poor, you know? Like, the family's doing all right, but they don't have a lot of extra money to be able to like support. It's always the fact that they have all the money in the world and they can't cure a problem like this. That was what like Me Before You was, is that he had this problem and he had all the money in the world and nothing could fix it. So once again, we have all the money in the world and nobody can fix him. And he's also dragged down by an even more depressing fact that he had a brother who previously died. So now he's the second child in his family to be dying of, he has cancer, and they want to aggressively attack it, and he wants to go through this treatment, but he watched his brother die, and now he's got it. And of course his father is beside himself because he can't lose a second son, which means him and his son are always fighting. I'm gonna go with Julian for purposes of this because I think it's something like that. So he yells at Anna, and in one scene where like Anna just happens to stumble in on him getting like a treatment, like a blood infusion or a transfusion or something like that. The guy loses his shit, like rage control issues, and Anna like runs from the house. And then he finds her later and just kind of comes up and is like, hey. And then they don't even really talk about it. They're like, yeah, so what that was you being an asshole? Like, one of two things could be true. Like, she just kind of accepts all of his assholery as being like, well, I guess I don't understand your British ways of things. I'm so sorry. I walked in on you. I'm an American from New York where everything is bigger. So, I don't know. I mean, I wish she was written with more backbone, with more spine, with like something in her, because that's kind of what was great about Me Before You, was that part of being able to stand up to him was that he was met with, like, he was kind of a douche, and then so she had to have a backbone. She had to have gumption to stand up to him, and she doesn't. Sofia Carson just kind of shrinks in every conversation and just kind of passes him along knowledge, and like if the dad talks to her, she'll just go over and talk to him. He's like, so I talked to your dad and I think that maybe you should. And he's just like, no. I'm like, what do you see in this guy, man? What I know he's dying and we're supposed to be really sad for it, but this is a movie, it's not real. This is an evolution of a story. These are characters. You're representative of something, of somebody. Like hopes, dreams, futures. She calls her mom, and at some point in the movie, she's like, I can't come home. I have to be here. I can't do this. I'm like, do what? And then, of course, he's really pissed that she's staying. And then it's not even that long. Like, again, spoilers. I'm so sorry, but this movie's not very good. So I'm just saving you the time. So he dies, and she just like travels Europe. Like, that's her plan, is to take a gap year after finishing her master's, is to see Europe, which is actually kind of expensive, like when you think about it. And I didn't see, like in Me Before You, I think he leaves or something, but in this one I didn't see that. I didn't see like the gift of Julian. I've left you $1 million so you can do with it as you see. Goodbye, my love. No, there's none of that. There's just this. She just starts traveling the world, and the camera crew suddenly had to hop all around Europe so she could be seen in several different countries and at recognizable places. I don't know. I didn't like this movie, said Sam I Am. I do not like my green eggs and ham. Uh, this is not fun. This was not what, this is not light and fluffy. This is not anything that Sofia Carson is really good at. And she's not even really written well here to be sad or angry or contemplative or anything. She's just kind of aimlessly drifting through life and around this guy. And that's kind of what I got out of the movie. I wanted more from her. She doesn't meet him ever toe to toe. It just feels like, why is she here? She never wants to talk about or have any tough conversations. She just avoids all them. He comes in the room and he's mad. I can find another room in the house to sleep in. Like, your time with him is limited and you know it is, and you're just going to walk the fuck off and not, like, part of this relationship is being able to have that dynamic. That's kind of what worked about Me Before You, is it has a little bit more of that. It doesn't quite have it like full on, but when we see these types of films where somebody is diagnosed with something and the other person has to kind of get them through it, Love and Other Drugs would be another example. There's the characters have backbone so that they can get through the shit. Sofia Carson's Anna just shrinks away every turn. Every turn. She is the least possible. She never, like, Sofia Carson didn't like to raise her voice or scream or anything. She's so interested in being demure here and not the sassy one. Like, she doesn't want to, she's like, they're trying something different. They're like, what if she was just yelled at by somebody who was dying the whole movie? That would be great. Let's do that. There's a reason why those other movies haven't done that, is because then you just have a character that's a doormat. So if you want to watch a character with a movie, a doormat character, then fine, this is what this is. Has audio description. Thought the audio description was pretty good. I believe it was International Digital Center. Yeah, this is, I didn't catch any huge problems with the audio description. I mean, I guess if I could give any note, it would be, if this man's going to live in opulence, give us the opulence. You know, the benefit of him being wealthy and in a giant house, or I guess his father being wealthy in this giant house, is, you know, we should be able to celebrate that. And it's a small thing. The movie's not really about that. It's more about these emotional bonds, which, I don't know. Like I said, it's a small note. Might as well, if their film is going to continue to cast everybody as being, we have all the money in the world, but we can't fix you. This is so tired. Anyway, because poor people don't get sick. It's only rich people. I don't know if you know that. That's what the movie's... Anyway, yes. My Oxford year. I'm going to give my Oxford year a 5.1 out of 10. I don't think it's like an absolute travesty unto man. I've seen worse films this year, but it's a rotten score for me. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.